Blackmagic's cinema cameras are odd beasts because they're designed for professionals but carry relatively low prices. That's especially true for the company's latest model, the Cinema Camera 6K, a full-frame camera with a Leica mount that costs just $2,600. That's cheaper than Sony's FX3 and a fraction of an Arri or other professional camera. So what's the catch? The main feature lacking compared to the Sony model is continuous autofocus, along with stabilization. In other ways, it's superior though with better audio features, monitoring tools, raw compressed video, a brighter screen, and more. I had a chance to test the BMCC 6K and see what it has to offer for filmmakers, content creators, and others. Who should consider buying one and who shouldn't? Let's dive in and find out. The Cinema Camera 6K strongly resembles the previous BMPCC 6K Pro. It looks more like a mirrorless than a film camera and has a lightweight carbon fiber body that's supposed to be tough and scratch resistant, but does feel a bit cheap. What's new is the full-frame sensor that accepts L-mount lenses from Leica, Panasonic, Sigma, and others. This choice makes sense because it's an open lens mount alliance, while Canon, for one, keeps the RF mount system closed. Though it has a bigger sensor than the 6K Pro, the camera itself is thinner. There are 14 buttons, a dial, and an on-off switch that allow for full manual control, though everything can also be controlled by the well-designed touchscreen menu. The 5-inch screen hits up to 1500 nits, so it's bright enough for sunny day shooting. It also tilts up and down, but not out for vlogging. The optional $495 electronic viewfinder has a decent 3.68 million dots of resolution. One thing sorely missed from the 6K Pro is built-in ND filters. That's likely because the mirrorless mount leaves less room than the Pro model's DSLR mount, so you'll need to rely on external ND filters. There's a full-sized HDMI but no Pro-level SDI port, as on other Blackmagic cameras. It has 4 audio inputs with 2 mini BNC ports and a 3.5mm mic port, plus a headphone jack. It has a single CF Express Type B card slot, but no SD card option as on the BMPCC 6 Pro. CF Express media is expensive, but you can also capture to an SSD drive via USB-C. The latter is generally cheaper, but it does require some rigging. It comes with multiple mount points, so it's easy to install a cage and accessories. It uses an NP battery, but the optional battery grip adapter adds 2 more to triple battery life. It's easier to use than most cinema cameras, but more complicated than mirrorless models. There's only one choice of codec, unfortunately, which is Blackmagic's BRAW format. ProRes isn't available like in past models. That means you must use Blackmagic's DaVinci Resolve editing app to get the most out of the RAW format, or else convert the footage to use in Premiere Pro or another app, a time-consuming pain. You can select the resolution and level of BRAW compression though. Options include 6K 3x2 open gate at up to 36 frames per second that uses every pixel on the sensor, 6x5 4K 36p anamorphic, 6K 48p DCI, and others down to 1080p at 120 frames per second. 6K resolution allows full frame capture, but any resolution below that is cropped. It supports BRAW with either constant bitrate for consistent performance or constant quality from 3x1 to 12x1 compression. You can also grab full HD proxies for cloud-based editing. This is largely a manual focus camera, and exposure is also best left in manual mode. Luckily, there's a suite of on-screen tools to help you get the shot right, including a focus assist, zebra, false color, histogram, frame guides for different aspect ratios, and more. It does have a one-touch contrast detect autofocus to help you get focus in the ballpark. You can also set it for iris or shutter auto exposure, though it's inadvisable in variable light as you'll notice distinct shifts in brightness. The BMCC 6K can capture any of its formats indefinitely without any noticeable overheating, except on hot days, thanks to the built-in vents and fans. The battery lasts up to 45 minutes, which is less than mirrorless cameras, but better than the 6K Pro. With the optional battery grip, that rises to 135 minutes, not bad for a full-frame cinema camera. And the NP batteries are cheap, so you can load up without breaking the bank. Without any built-in stabilization, you'll need either a stabilized lens for minor smoothing or a gimbal. As with past models, the BMCC6K's gyro data also helps stabilize footage. It does a good job, but you'll need to use higher shutter speeds or motion blur will be a problem. The big draw of this camera is the full-frame sensor and lens mount that supports a wide range of lenses along with the high quality allowed by RAW video. If you already own Canon EF lenses, you can use those via an adapter. The BMCC6K has Blackmagic's latest Generation 5 color science. That yields accurate colors and nice skin tones with 12 bits of color depth, eliminating banding and offering plenty of latitude to adjust hues. And of course, the full-frame sensor allows for very shallow depth of field. Like high-end ARRI cameras, the BMCC6K has an optical low-pass filter, sacrificing some sharpness for less aliasing. It also has the benefit of making video look more organic and less digital. Shot at the lowest 3:1 compression, B-RAW video is sharp and artifact-free. The file sizes are huge though, with just 5 minutes per 100 gigabytes. Even at the maximum 12:1 compression ratio, videos look clean and the files are more manageable. The camera has a full-frame sensor and dual native 400 and 3200 ISO, so video looks best at those settings. Low-light shooting is much improved over past models and on par with similar cameras like Panasonic's S5 II. Noise is well controlled up to about ISO 6400, but noticeable beyond that. Keep in mind that there's no built-in noise reduction though, so you'll need to do that in post-production. Rolling shutter is significant when using the full width of the sensor, so you'll need to avoid whipping the camera around or shooting fast-moving subjects. However, the aforementioned gyro data impressively allows you to remove most of the rolling shutter, but only from DaVinci Resolve. To answer my earlier question, this camera isn't for everyone. It has specific tools designed for filmmakers rather than content creators. The latter will likely find it too difficult to use due to the lack of autofocus, stabilization, and other niceties expected on mirrorless cameras. Still, they're ideal for novice filmmakers and film school students, allowing an easy transition to higher-end gear. In fact, the BMCC6K is a shockingly good cinema camera with pro features and a good quality built-in display. A competent cinematographer could deliver footage that would look nearly as good as anything on Sony ARRI or other cameras for a fraction of the price. Just keep in mind that you'll need to spend money on CF Express cards, extra batteries, accessories, and all the usual gear required for a film shoot. The lack of ProRes recording is the biggest weak point because it requires extra steps for some editors. Still, if you're dreaming of shooting your own feature film, the BMCC6K is more than enough camera for the job. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. And for more on technology, check out Engadget.com.